Let's see if it works.
I think we're live. We'll see.
We'll see.
We're not on a regular
setup because somebody forgot the cables. All right, somebody let us know if you're coming in. Are we in?
It says we're live. Or does it?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, we're going to start talking. Now I'm going to see what happens. We can type a message here.
Maybe we shouldn't be streaming.
Yes, we're streaming.
Oh. Well, that didn't even... Well, I don't know.
This isn't going well.
Nope. I have a feeling it ain't right.
You got a feeling it ain't right?
Mm-hmm.
It's right.
It's there.
All right. Apparently we are there now that we've gone over to YouTube. And anybody out there see and hear us?
Yeah.
Got it. I see lots of messages. Here we go.
How come we're not seeing the messages?
It doesn't
though?
matter.
Yeah, but we might need to answer questions.
We'll see them on our phone.
Okay.
Look, we're like 1 minute in and she's already nagging me.
Stop. Why is it just... Y'all, he messed up. He didn't bring all the equipment that we needed to do this the right way.
I brought the camera, I brought the microphone, I brought the computer and the monitor. I just didn't bring all the cables.
Exactly.
So it didn't go so well.
Shani says we see and hear you on the
right.
Discord. Thanks, Shani.
We hope everybody's doing all right. We're doing all right. We've had 2 good days of sourcing this week so far. Monday, Tuesday was really good.
Well, but yes.
Tuesday, really
Tuesday,
good.
very good.
Wednesday, not as good.
The morning was terrible. Terrible, but then the afternoon,
was
it
better.
started snowing, so we came home early, but the second half of the day was excellent. Y'all, I found a Fisher Price Slumber Babies, which now I got to figure out, do I want to keep for myself?
Maybe you should.
I'm thinking about it.
All right, you keep talking. I'm going to make sure we don't have any questions in the chat.
I think what we're going to plan on doing is we're going to talk about how 2023 went to us in general terms. And then we're going to talk about some of the changes we've got coming up in 2024. And then we're going to go over some of the questions that people put in the comments on the YouTube video that we did and on Facebook.
Yes.
So I don't like that I can't see the chat.
You're all right. I can see it over here.
Okay. Robert's going to keep up with it. Oh, should we put it on here?
You could do that.
That'll work. I have my laptop, y'all.
So, 2023, you tell us about 2023. It was better than last year, money-wise, yeah.
Money-wise.
Sales were better.
I think the biggest thing that helped overall was when I changed in September my shipping to I gave my discounted shipping to my buyers. I think that was a game changer for me, big time.
Can we turn the mic up?
Yes.
Not sure. I will move and make the mic a little closer to us. How's that?
Yeah, he's got it way back there. Just don't. Oops. If you guys hear a thunk, blame it on Robert. So do I have to turn on the...
There. Let me know if that mic sounds any better. I brought it closer to us. I don't want to put it on the way we normally have it because my dad's watching TV in the other room and I don't want it picking that up.
Yeah. So what else? 2023. Robert made me a list.
I made a list.
He made a list. I'm going
And
to...
I'm checking it twice here.
What am I hearing? Your headset.
All right, end of the year live and 2023. 2023. Going to finish the year better.
We did.
Dropping Etsy.
Dropping Etsy. Etsy, just not worth the effort
Yep.
and the cost.
It takes up too much time for how much. You need to turn your hotspot on. It takes up too much time for how much money we make off of it. If you have different stuff, we're not saying Etsy's bad by any means, but if you have other stuff then that works well on Etsy, then it might be your best platform, but it is not the best platform for us. Just isn't. Next on the list was Mercari is getting reworked. What are you doing to Mercari?
Mercari, this is my thoughts on Mercari. I'm wondering if all of these things that I have listed that were over a pound and the shipping is ridiculous is actually hurting. You know, they're just not selling. They're just sitting there forever. So I've actually been spending some time taking everything out of Mercari that was over a pound. I'm about maybe a third through the listings. And then I think I'm going to focus on just stuff that's under a pound.
I'm sure they're loving this view of my head blocking everything. I'm going to turn that on mute.
I just want to see the chat.
And then you're going to have to switch it to live chat.
So that's my plan. I don't think I want to do add the cost into the price and then do pirate ship, because how do you determine? Like for me, I still need to focus on how much would it cost to send all the way to the West Coast. So that is why I'm going to do my under a pound. I think I'm going to try to get out more offers when I see those likes come across my phone. And then I think that's it for now. But I'm hoping taking out stuff that I know is never going to sell on there. And then maybe at some point I might start ending the oldest and, relisting them, or just ending the oldest and just keep cross-listing new stuff. I don't know. But yes, Mercari's a mess. They really need to do shipping with like eBay, to the destination. Depends on what the shipping's going to be.
That would help a lot. Because we had people, I wasn't paying attention, but we had people after you did that video earlier in the year that said they're more in the middle of the United States and they didn't have the high shipping prices that we did.
$13 and $18 and $20 some dollars to ship 1 and 2 pound packages. That's ridiculous, and it's never going to sell. So that's the plan.
That Soda City Flips is here, and Holly said she made the change on shipping and it helped her a lot in the fourth quarter because she wasn't able to list a bunch. There's Elizabeth. Haven't talked to her in a while.
Hi, Miss Elizabeth sent me a message here. We're going to do a Zoom call soon.
And then Julie.
Hi,
and
Miss
and
Sherry.
Laura. So yeah, Mercari. I just wish they would do the thing like eBay does and charge it based on how far away the actual package is going, not how far away the farthest package could go.
Chastity, that's what I was contemplating too, like doing $10, but then you're really hurting the people that live near you, and the shipping's only going to be $7. I'm afraid I'm going to lose more sales locally or closer to me by trying to adjust the shipping to to accommodate sales that are farther away.
We can ship to a lot of the East Coast and kind of over to Missouri for
About
$7 to $8, depending
Yeah.
on how a lot of it's $7.20 or $7.15, I think, on eBay, or which would be about the same on pirate ship. So it would hurt. Going to $10 would hurt them some, but it would definitely help the people on the West Coast.
Yes, let's see. French teacher said they use $7.99 for anything over a pound. But I have found if I put in the dimensions of a box that I'm going to use, that $7.99 goes away. So I haven't quite figured out the whole UPS and some of the other services that Mercari's offered. I've just never taken the time. Y'all, eBay is my primary and favorite platform. But, I do want to cross-list to get more eyes on my stuff. But I need to focus a little bit more. Give Mercari one more year, and then I'll have to decide what I'm going to do.
Stephen said he's changed his shipping. That's helped. Laura Joy said Mercari is supposedly lowering shipping costs and can do up to 3 pounds for $7.99.
I don't. But when I put in dimensions of the box,
Oh, that's what you're saying.
yeah, it does. The $7.99 does not stay. It actually ends up a lot of times more than USPS. So I don't know. Tracy, did you enjoy? Are we enjoying our trip? I'm
Yes.
loving our trip. This is my mother-in-law's house, so we're gonna leave Sunday. We're actually going back to the bins tomorrow to do one more day. I think we've got about maybe 13 or 14 of those huge, really large garbage bags at this point. But believe it or not, y'all, famous last words. I have been better at my sourcing. I'm trying to pick the things that I know sell better for me. So, but yeah, I found so much vintage stuff. Yeah, I will always pick up vintage.
We ran into a guy there that it was raining, and he works in roofing, so he was off that day. But he works with a fire department, and they make Easter baskets for underprivileged kids and elderly folks in nursing homes. And he goes there to pick up small plush. So I was gathering up the small plush that we definitely wouldn't buy.
The unicorns and stuff like that.
But he said that what I was giving him, he said these are perfect because the kids love that kind of stuff. So he was able to get a bunch of stuff that day for the kids.
Yeah. And then I ran into Marcus from
Dixon's
Pickens at the downtown one. So it was nice to chat with him. So it's been fun. It's been fun. Plus, but it snowed. Y'all, I am not a winter person. I am not. So we're going to get back out tomorrow one more day. I'm not sure if I'll make it a whole day. In Missouri, there's 2 bins, and they're about, 25 minutes apart?
Yeah, in St. Louis. They're more in Kansas City.
But. Yeah, but we go to the one in Bridgeton, spend about an hour there, then get in the car, drive to the downtown St. Louis one, finish out their rotation, and then start at the downtown one at 3 when they open up again. They've got an odd system here. It opens at 10, and both of them opens at 10 to 1, and they don't do any rotations. But in that 2-hour break from 1 to 3, they change out all of their bins. So when you come back, you've got all new bins to go through again, and it's so much fun. But y'all, I get so hyped and super alert that by the time we're driving home, I am done. I literally crawl in the bed and go to sleep.
Is it CK Rich? I can't see that far away. Says they're in Jonesboro. So you should come to one of our meetups end of January, usually around the last Saturday of the month. Things got kind of mixed up with the holidays this year, but we're going to do a meetup of resellers in Greenville around the last Saturday of the month. If you're in the reseller group, we usually, in your Facebook group, we usually try to post it in there, or we announce it in our videos, but around the last Saturday of the month, or send us a message and we can add you to a little East Tennessee reseller Facebook group that local people are in, so we can stay in touch and talk about the meetups and such.
Yeah,
or if there's any great sales or anything.
Mm-hmm. So definitely, anybody in our area, we love our little group. It's growing every single time. Is there one in Richmond? I think there is a bins in Richmond. I have never been to it.
Richmond? Oh, yes, there is one in Richmond, Virginia, according to the website anyway.
But right now, the last 2 years, we've pretty much, when we do these sourcing trips, we've been coming to Missouri. I have gone, before this, we were going to Indianapolis because there's 3 in Indianapolis. There's one and two on the way to Indianapolis that we stop at. And I've told Robert probably this next year I want to do that trip again. Just go up there. But because here we have family to stay with and cook for us and all of that stuff. That's why we've kind of been doing this, because when we go to Indianapolis, there'll be all those other added expenses.
We have more mileage here, but there's no hotel bill. And RJ won't go to Indianapolis with us because it would just be torture for him.
Yeah.
But he comes here, he gets treated like royalty. My mom she messages him before we come, what do you want to eat when you're here? And biscuits and gravy and cheesecake and things like that. My sister came Christmas
Sunday.
Eve, yeah, and we Spent 2 or 3 hours making tamales that were amazingly good.
And now we know how to make them, so when we go home, we're going to make tamales. Let's see.
St. Louis, yeah. We got poured on with snow yesterday in St. Louis, but it didn't really accumulate. We had a couple inches here
This
where my
morning.
parents live north of St. Louis, about an hour and a half. And that was good to have a little snow.
Let's see. Karen asked, when am I going back to Rochester? I'd like to make another trip up there this year. We'll just have to wait and see how everything works out.
And by this year, you don't mean in the next 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, no. Next year, my oldest son is there with my grandkids and my daughter-in-law. So I want to start doing more of those trips. You know, we had, I've probably talked about this before. This year we were able to pay off our mortgage. So, you know, now I want to start enjoying and doing more trips and going to see family and just all of that stuff. So, I mean, it's been a blessing because, you know, that is a major, major weight off of us financially. And now it's time to just go have fun. So I'm hoping to go. I have one son in Ohio and one son in New York. So I'm hoping to at least try to go see them every year and then do some picking and all of that kind of stuff while we're up there.
And then, let's see, YouTube. So if anybody's thinking about starting a YouTube channel, you got to, that's one thing. Our YouTube was growing well until this year, and it sort of flatlined. It's growing slowly, which is fine. We're great with where YouTube is. It's fun. We make a little money off of it, but we have a lot of fun doing it, and we enjoy making the videos, and I enjoy heckling her during the process.
Robert enjoys the videos, y'all.
But if you have one or you're thinking about one, I like to watch people reacting to movies or music, and there was one guy that I watched, you know, every now and then, and when I watched him recently, several months ago or a few months ago, he had about 800,000 subscribers. And he, you know, with that many subscribers, he had a manager at YouTube that would help him do things. And he said his audience was mostly male and mostly 35 and up. And he was doing really well. And his YouTube manager was saying, hey, you need to do these shorts, you'll attract subscribers. And he said he did that, and he got a lot more subscribers, but his audience morphed into younger and more female from that. And they don't watch his longer form content, which is where you make your money. You make your money on the longer form content usually. And YouTube changed their algorithm so that when he releases a video, it gives it to 200 of his subscribers. If they watch it a lot, then it pushes it to more of his subscribers, and it could grow from there. But if those first 200 don't like it a lot, then they don't push it out as much, and it really damaged his channel. So if you're doing YouTube, you might want to be careful with the types of content that you mix together. Like doing a lot of shorts might attract the subscribers, but you might not get the longer term retention, which will flatten your YouTube channel or kill it. I don't know. And we're not sure if that's what happened to us, but we're great with where we're at. But in saying all that, the one thing we're going to do for next year is we're going to start a second channel for picking, so we could separate those two different things, because I've seen some people like to watch our hauls and our what solds, but they don't necessarily like to watch the picking, and other people love to watch picking videos. So we're going to split that apart, and it's going to be a few weeks before we get any content up there.
This whole time we've been sourcing, we actually went and bought a second camera. So we're both wearing a camera. Hopefully between the two of us, we will be able to get decent footage. It's been fun. I've been trying while I'm doing these videos to actually talk and say, you know, I'm picking this up because, and I'm not picking this up because. So I'm hoping people who like to watch the picking videos, right now you're going to be getting a whole lot of the bins footage, but when we get back, you know, and hit some of the estate sales and maybe go to the bins in Asheville, and then finally when yard sale season starts picking up again, hopefully between the two of us, you know, that'll be just a whole other channel that, you know, it'll be short editing, light editing.
Very little editing.
Very little editing, but I'm still going to do my haul videos on my other channel to show you guys exactly what it was I picked up and, you know, what I think I'll make on it. So I'm hoping that's going to, you know, draw in the people who like the picking videos. Like for me personally, I like watching what solds. I've always that. Everybody has their preferences. So I'm hoping that that's going to, hopefully bring in more people to watch our content.
But it's going to be called the Rebel Pickers. The channel's created. There's nothing there.
There's nothing.
Not even a picture of us or anything. I just created it like 2 days ago, maybe 3. But that's our plan for videos for 2024. Next up, what we have for 2024 videos. We've had requests for an updated video about our inventory system, how we store things, how we organize it, and keep track of everything.
Yeah.
Which is a job. Everybody, when you talk about how to do that, everybody's going to have
Their preference.
probably not, if there's a million sellers, not a million ways, but everybody's going to have their own take on it, and there's going to be a few very basic ways to do it. And we're going to show you ours, and it may or may not work for you.
Yes.
If you have more space or less space or different space, it might not work, or maybe you just don't like that setup.
And this year we changed. Before this year, I wasn't putting dates in my listings. So I didn't know, and because I do the end and sell similar every month, these longer, older listings were just kind of falling in between new stuff. So, I started adding dates to my custom SKU, and we also, during this inventory that I'm doing, we're adding new ID numbers so that when Robert pulls, instead of picking up a bin that has 5 blue loveys in it, he'll be able to pick it up and look for the specific number that goes with that blue lovey that he needs to pull. So less chance of error, and not everything's on me because, I know my stuff. I can pull it a whole lot quicker, but it's easier for me if he goes and pulls it while I'm taking care of what other things we need. Yes, Robert's going to be in more of the picking videos for sure. But I'm trying to get him to come around and be on the other side of the mic and the camera, even in some of the haul videos. But he likes being...
I like talking.
What's the guy's name?
Wilson.
He likes to be Wilson, behind the camera where all you do is hear his voice. So.
And what was the other one? Oh, there's Sherry. I don't know if I said hi. Hi, Sherry.
I said hi to
Oh,
Sherry.
did you, Sherry? All right, we'll make sure to say hi to Sherry. She's been a great supporter of our channel.
Yep.
Going to do the storage system. There was one more organization. I don't know. I lost it. We had yesterday. We were in St. Louis, and I said, I was driving, and she said I needed to do something when we got home, and I said, yes, you remind me, and she said, we're not going to remember. We got home. I remembered that I needed to do something, but I couldn't remember.
But we couldn't remember what it was.
So I did my part. You
Yeah.
were supposed to remember what it was.
Yep. So I think, and our other big thing that we've done, started in November, we hired somebody to take pictures of clothing for us, and that's
As a contractor.
as a contractor. I do all the prep work, and all she has to do is take them to her house, and she takes the pictures for me. We've gotten kind of into a rhythm. She takes probably 40 to 50 of them at a time, and then just as it's convenient, she brings them back to me, and then I try to get stuff ready for her. And we're finally starting to get through some of the backlog of taking pictures of clothes. But my son asked if I was interested in somebody to come help me, just be just kind of like my sidekick, my helper. So his girlfriend is going to start coming in January, and I haven't quite figured out. Right now, for sure, I'm going to have her taking pictures of smalls and helping me get through the death pile pictures. And so I'm hoping that's really, really, really going to bump up my numbers of listings and getting through some of this stuff, because this year we sourced a lot, and it was really, y'all, I do not like to be behind on my listings. I want you guys to be able to see the stuff and within a reasonable amount of time get it listed so that it's available to anybody who is interested in it. So
Tracy had a question, but I got her question on the list. So Tracy, your question's at the top of the list. It was the first one I saw when I started making my list. What's the other one there? Raquel, I'm glad that somebody enjoys my humor. I get enough hate mail about it, so
He gets lots of hate mail.
not lots, but
Well,
some.
But so do I.
I've got really thick skin, so it doesn't bother me. I just laugh about it. One of the things that we made changes in, I made changes in Rebel's inventory years ago. This is what's like being in my brain. My brain bounces all over, so we're going to jump from topic to topic. She had about 1,000 items when we met.
got married.
And she stored all of her Plush in Walmart bags. Now, if you think about Walmart bags, except for the little ones, the big ones, they're gray. And I would have to go out and pull a brown bear in.
But they were sorted, so like all the bears were in one.
And you had it, and so I knew where to go, but then I would have to like open each one up and look at it. And I finally convinced her to use clear bags. She's a tightwad, so she used the Walmart bags because they were free. But it's gotten so much better over the days and years.
Yep. And now we're doing the little sticky number on there so that everything is going to have its own number.
Let's see.
Definitely. I'm going to delegate. And I think picture taking is one of the first easy ones. You know, you guys have asked, I have a spreadsheet that I use. Everything that I list is on my spreadsheet. And I'm going to do a video on that. But I'll still be doing that part. I'll still be assigning the numbers. And then all she'll have to do is take stuff out of a bag, take pictures for me, and then seal the bag. And then hopefully I'll get her to a point where she can start taking and putting the stuff away over in the building.
The one thing that's might slow us down on hiring Daniel's girlfriend is the legal and accounting issues. We have to jump through certain hoops with getting. I got to figure out what all the legal requirements are in Tennessee to hire somebody. I should put the camera over there because I'm trying to read that. So this entire video is going to be like this view of my head. But I got to figure out all of those issues with the state, the federal government, and accounting wise, what we have to get set up because we're going to have to set up a payroll system and that sort of thing.
Yep.
For the lady that's doing the pictures, it's contract work. I've seen some people say, just hire everybody as a contract employee, which sounds good, and it would be nice if we could, but the IRS has certain restrictions on who, they have a definition of what an employee is. If they're using your equipment at your place on your time and exactly and everything how you direct it, then they're really looking like an employee. And I'm not a lawyer or an accountant or a tax expert at all, but these are the things that I've learned looking at this stuff. Now, if they're doing it on their time, at their place, with their equipment, when they want to do it, then they look much more like a contractor. And they are much more of a contractor. So that's what the picture-taking lady, she's doing that. She picks it up. She takes it to her place, use their equipment in their space. She does them when she gets around to them, and then she brings them back. That's a contractor, as far as I understand the rules. Daniel's girlfriend at our place, working when we're working, doing what we want, using our equipment, she's definitely going to be considered an employee. Whether we want to consider her one or not.
Yeah, Holly, do I plan on doing the cleanup and all? Yes, I will have everything ready for her. At some point, hopefully, I'll be able to be more willing to maybe start letting her clean some of the stuff. But for the most part, all she'll be doing is picking it up out of a bag, taking the pictures, I'm going to show her how I like them, and then just sealing the bags for me. But she's also going to start helping me sort. I have totes and totes of stuff. I don't want to do individual smalls. I'm trying to focus more on lots this year. So, I may get to a point, hopefully she even knows kids' toys, which will help me a lot. Like if she knows who Baby Einstein is or Daniel Tiger, and will be able to help me sort all of this stuff and start doing lots.
There's Grams and Pops Vintage. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. As far as Whatnot, Julie asked about Whatnot. Y'all, Whatnot is a lot of work, especially if you want to what's the word?
Preload
all your items. It was taking probably, I don't know, at least 4 hours for me. And I just kept thinking, those 4 hours, I could have been listing more stuff for eBay. So I'm going to step back a little bit from Whatnot. I'm not going to say I'm not. If I come across an amazing find of bulk buy stuff, I may do that on Whatnot. But right now, I just think I want to focus primarily on eBay and then cross-listing to the other platforms.
The actual selling on Whatnot is fun.
Yeah, we enjoyed that part of it, but all of the pre-work, and I'm just not willing to, try to just do it where I pick up an item and then try to type it in real quick and get an accurate weight. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for a little while, but it's not off. But right now I have like all of this stuff. I didn't even finish listing everything that we purchased this last Benton's trip in October, and now I'm adding all of this. And I really, by the time yard sale season starts, I would like to have my profit piles much under control, where I actually have space and not just paths in my work area. Because right now it's paths. That's it.
They're bigger paths than they used to be.
Yeah, they get better some days, and then they get crazy again.
All right, where we at? I think we're ready for questions.
Yep.
Wait, we got kids. Somebody asked about our kids.
So Robert, well, I have one son, Lance. I know he isn't listening to this. Lance never sent me a picture, but all my kids sent pictures. Everybody asks. For those of you who don't know, I have 5 sons, and then Robert has a son. So we've got 6 boys. I have 2. Well, technically, I have all of my sons are now adults, but I still have 2 at home. And then RJ, I've been sharing RJ with his mama since he was 3. But we're going to start with RJ because he's the easy one.
We didn't do a picture of him. We just said he had to come in here and say hi.
So this is RJ when you guys hear us talking about him. He's 16, about to get his license. Mm-hmm. We homeschool him still.
It's been a lot of fun, hasn't it?
Yeah, except for the school part.
The whole school part.
Yep.
But this is RJ.
Yep. Hi-bye.
Hi-bye.
Bye-bye.
Robert said he was going to torture him and make him sit here for a while. And then we have pictures of 4 of the other boys. I don't know how this is going to work for you guys.
I think I did this right, so hopefully it shows up. Trevor's...
questions about our kids. Thank you.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What?
I didn't add it. All right, so we messed up on all of that talking.
Why? You didn't have the pictures?
I didn't have a microphone in any of it.
Oh, sorry, y'all.
Sorry, y'all.
Those were my older boys were Trevor and Wesley. Their wives are Valerie and Courtney. And then I have my grandsons, Brody, Tyson, Alexander, and then my granddaughter, which is Wesley's stepdaughter, Araya.
And this over here is Jess.
This is
Jessica.
Jess.
Hello.
This is my nephew Cedric's girlfriend.
The favorite.
The favorite. This is my family can be very kind and generous and wonderful, and they can also be difficult to deal with sometimes. And she's done a great job, and she hasn't left in all these years. So she
Going
must
on
be,
three
you must
strong,
be
right?
some sort of saint or something.
That's what they tell me.
Yes. Yes.
But they're going to be building a house right back here in this field in the next few months
Hopefully.
in the cow pasture.
Yep.
You going to clear the cow pies up first?
Maybe.
Maybe.
My little facial mask or something. I don't know.
There you go.
My son Trevor lives in Rochester, Karen. Yeah.
So the first picture you saw was Trevor
His wife Valerie.
and Ty and Brody,
Ty
and then
and
the
Brody.
second picture was Wesley and his wife Courtney and his son
Alexander.
and stepdaughter Araya, and then there was Miles and his girlfriend Lexi,
Lexi.
and then Daniel.
Daniel is my baby.
I set all the pictures up today and failed to
Forgot
put a microphone
the
in
microphone
that scene.
part.
But I got the picture in.
Yes.
That was the first for me. All right, next on our list we have questions. Hopefully Tracy's still here. She said she had to work, I think. And she might have to do it on her break. But now we can get to the questions.
Yes, FD says January will be a listing month. Definitely for me too, y'all. I'm seriously considering upgrading to my anchor store level again because I know now that I've got help with the pictures and everything, I'm going to get there. And I'm thinking if I go ahead and upgrade to anchor this month, I'll get the $150 in shipping supplies, and then come January 1st, I'll get $150 again. So I'm on the fence whether I'm going to do it. I know it's a major expense. I really wish eBay would have something between the one level that I am now, the business level, and the anchor store.
It's a big jump in fees.
It's a big jump.
What,
350?
$250?
$299. So
From 50 to 299?
60 to $299.
Yeah.
So yeah.
$240
But
jump.
you get on concierge and you get the shipping supplies, and I just really, I was on Anchor Store for years till they did all that big change with the stores and the numbers of listings.
But with Danielle's girlfriend Janiyah helping and the lady taking pictures of clothes for us, we're going to increase our listings very rapidly that
Very,
way.
very rapidly.
All right,
So
on to the questions. You coming to be on here, Dad?
What I gotta do?
You just gotta walk over here and say hi.
Around there?
Yeah, right
come
around
around
here.
here. The camera's right here.
And then what I say?
You just
Just
have
say
to
hi.
say hi.
You and you?
Yeah, right here.
You'll see it. We're on a screen right here. This is my
This
father-in-law.
is my dad, Bob.
Hey, Rebel. Great selling, girl. Son. Glad to have you up here.
It's good to be here. We've had a lot of fun
We have.
and eat good food.
Yep.
Adios.
All right, so Tracy's question.
Yeah.
Her question was, what is the golden grail plush you have been looking for but have never found?
I've never found. I have found it many, 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 many years ago. My big grail that I wanted, which I found this year, was the Play School Snuzzles. Even though it's Play School and not Fisher Price, I'm wanting a jammy pie. I've sold them a couple of times, probably not in the last 15 years. So I'm wanting a jammy pie. Look them up. They're by Play School. They're cute. But the thing is I want to find it in the wild. You know I could go on eBay and buy one, but it's just one of those things I want to, find in the wild. Also, the Fisher Price security blankets. Those are just the things that I look for. And of course, the Rushtons. I've not found the really high dollar Rushton because I think that would be a thrill just to be able to sell a plush for, I've done 2 and 3, and I had the Boyd's Bear sale that went for $500. But to have a sale like that for like $800 or $900 or $1,200 would be like amazing. But I want to find it in the wild. You know what I mean?
I want to find a Foghorn Leghorn figurine.
Y'all, I showed you guys the Foghorn Leghorn figure, and he's in this video. He goes, "Oh, I'd like to have that." Well, it sat in the tote for months, 6 months, 8 months.
Because I didn't have a wall built yet.
Yeah, but you should have set it up. So one day I was at the bottom of my tote of stuff that needed to be listed. I had already shown you guys. And I picked it up and listed it and sold it. Bam. For a lot of money, by the way.
Like $35. And now I don't have it. It's gone.
We'll find another one. We'll find another one. And I think I've held off getting help all these years, but I think it's going to be a game changer for me. It really is. I've just, like a lot of you guys have said, it's going to be hard to let go of stuff, let go of just, some of the responsibilities, because Robert's primary thing is these days has been editing videos and then, helping me source. But as far as the day-to-day picture taking and listing, it's all on me. It's just, that's why I get up at 5 a.m. and I list.
Pause. Sorry, I had a cough there. Hit mute.
How can you join our Facebook group?
We have two. Sort of. We have a Facebook group called the Rebel Reseller
Hangout.
And then we have one that it's just for our area. I mean, I suppose anybody could join, but it really would serve no purpose to be in there because we just talk about, hey, there's a big yard sale on Warrensburg Road next weekend. Don't forget to go to that. There's an estate sale over here, some of that. But most of us know where all the stuff is anyway. And we mostly, what gets talked about is, hey, we're meeting in Greenville this month for our meetup.
Who's coming?
Who's coming? How many do we need to reserve for? Any suggestions on where to eat that's different than where we've eaten in the past?
Yep. So, but yeah, the Rebel Reseller Hangout is my main Facebook group. Oh,
There. So see, FAO Schwartz.
I know.
They don't sell well for us, but $900. Wow.
That's amazing. And there's always exceptions. I get these people who ask, what brands should I be looking for? Well, there's certain things like normally I would say most Jellycat is, bread and butter, but then you'd better be looking for Fergus. Or, there's Eden, but I sell Edens for $8 to $12 because there's exceptions. There's the terry cloth ones that I showed in my video. So there's always exceptions. You can't just say, Kelly Toy or, is not a brand to pick up because there's always going to be exceptions. Most Fisher Price isn't worth picking up if you're wanting $20, $25, but there are exceptions. There are the Puffalumps and the Lovey, the security blanket one I was talking about. So there's always exceptions, and I just encourage you, if you recognize a brand that I've talked about, always check the comps. Always check the comps.
Karen says she has a mint condition rushed into.
That
would be fun.
That would be so much fun for me. So to answer Tracy, there's lots of grails I would like to pick up personally. But again, the Stifes and the Russians are always the ones people talk about. I found a Stife this last time at the bins, but it was just a contemporary, normal,
special.
$10, $15.
We found some Jellycat this time, and I found Jellycat corn and broccoli.
I know, vegetables.
They're about yay big.
Yeah.
I've never seen those before. Not that I've seen a ton of Plush or anything, but I definitely hadn't
We
seen
picked
that.
up a lot of Jellycat, and Beth, if you're watching, I picked up a couple of Folkmanis, and Robert got a finger puppet.
Got a bird.
So that's our ongoing thing. Anytime she goes sourcing, she finds Folkmanis. I hardly ever do, but I found so many treasures here, y'all. I love these bins, but then again, like Wednesday morning was terrible. Everything was dirty. Everything.
So Rebel said, "Do you think we could do this in an hour?" And I said, "Not a chance."
Why is it already?
It's 45 minutes already. We're not going to get it done in an hour. We're going to stay here for quite a while. All right, next. This one we've had this question a time or two.
Yes.
And it causes people stress. Mm-hmm. This is from Alice. Do you ever have concerns or experience bed bugs, mites, or fleas with secondhand plush?
Y'all, I've never had a concern about it. I don't. And I've said this before. I am more worried about bed bugs when we're traveling in hotels. than I ever have been in sourcing stuff. I just don't. I don't worry about it, and I've never had a problem. You know, everyone. You know, this is why I store my stuff in clear bags. Everything is in my, because, you know, it's in a building. I'm gonna have creepy crawlies crawling in on my stuff, but I don't worry about it. I know there's others out there who, you know, worry about that kind of stuff, but it has in March will be 25 years. I've never had an issue in sourcing and bringing home any unwanted critters.
But it could happen at the next yard
It
sale.
it could, and you know what? Then I would have to deal with it. But never been an issue.
Holly said she sold the Jellycat carrot.
There you go. We picked up. It was a broccoli and
Or
something.
A corn.
Oh,
Ear-
a corn.
Ear corn. Just a kernel of corn would be weird. Let's see. CK Rich. It is East Tennessee Resellers. Mm-hmm. And if you can't find it, just shoot us a message either through our Facebook page or through the email that's going to be linked in the video description there.
Yep.
Oh, the other thing that I forgot to mention, because Holly's in there, and I'm terrible about it, but somebody mentioned a while back, a few months ago, about starting. Is there a way to like have a membership so they could support us monthly? So we did that with the YouTube membership, and
It
I
was
didn't
hard.
we could make posts, and then
Not
the
everybody
members-
would see the posts, and,
And they
there
could
was
respond.
no, and there was no interaction hardly. It was us, you know, sharing stuff, but not a whole lot of coming back.
because
So-
people couldn't send us messages really, and well, thank you,
Oh,
Holly.
thank you, Holly.
Thank you so much. But we started a Discord server, and it's linked in the video description. And it allows us. It's basically like a chat room, and you can come in. You can post pictures and talk
We
about
share stuff.
Here's a picture of our Christmas tree, or here's what I found today, or just different things like that, or questions and things like that. And we've done a couple Zoom calls. We're going to try to do those monthly. Let's see how that goes. It was fun. It was 4 of us on there. We just sat and chatted for about an hour, and it was a good time.
Yeah,
So if
I'm
you're
enjoying
interested,
it.
it's in the link for that's in there. It's $5 a month, except if you're on an Apple device. I think they have to charge an extra fee because of the Apple Store or something. But
Yeah.
hello, thrifter, picker, shipper. That's a tongue twister for me.
Yes. Hello.
It could happen at Walmart with the bed bugs. I always worry about like I see kids trying on the
helmets,
the hats,
and
like
the
the
hats.
big animal heads at Walmart. I worry about lice and things like that there.
Yep. And I don't know why people pick on Plush, because if you're going to get them, you're going to likely get them from clothes or towels or bedding or pillows, or if you're going to get them, you're going to get them. So
I just tried to use my mouse on that computer. It ain't gonna work. You found Fraggle Rock plush.
I
right?
have not on that. There's more contemporary ones, but some of the older ones do, of course, way much better. But
We don't do lives very often. We used to do one weekly, and we did it on a separate channel, but after a while. But we don't. We do like one at the end of the year, and sometimes I think we did one on our
anniversary.
which is in April. But maybe we should do them a little more often. But we enjoy them. Get to sit and talk and answer questions.
he said the Discord link says it's expired.
Okay.
You'll fix it.
I'll fix it. I haven't figured out the Discord link thing yet. I thought I made a permanent one, but apparently I didn't. I'll get it fixed.
Yep.
It might be this weekend before I get it fixed, but I'll get that fixed. Next question.
Next question.
I think this is also from Alice.
If you guys are putting questions in here, put them in capital letters or put the word question, because a lot of just comments are happening. Like right here, wait, oh yeah, that was the how often do we do the lives?
Do you ever receive backlash for buying from thrift stores and selling at a higher price online? What's your thoughts or experience? In the UK, it's seen as poor taste. Some people say you're taking from poor people when you do that. You could say that, but also we are. How was I going to put that? We are giving money to the store, and the store uses that money to fund jobs programs. One of the ones we shop at in town, 2 of them are actually run by churches, that they use that in their local ministries. So actually buying from those stores helps those ministries. It helps Goodwill with their jobs programs and stuff. So I think it's an overall, it's a net benefit, because if resellers were not going to those thrift stores buying stuff in the volumes and quantities that we do it, how much would the thrift stores actually sell?
And as far as like when I go to a yard sale, and probably some of you guys, would disagree with this, I always pay what they've asked for. I really do not want to negotiate. If they say they want $5, I'm going to pay $5. If I'm getting a huge bulk of stuff and they don't really have it priced, that's something different. But for the most part, for me personally, this is my way of not feeling guilty about, buying something that I know I'm going to sell for a whole lot more, because I give them the money that they are asking for their items.
They're asking $1 for it, or 50 cents, or $5. If it's a deal for us, we're going to buy it.
We're going to buy it. Like when I bought the 165 plush, they wanted $1 each. I was fine with that. $165.
Thank you so much, Shani, for the
Thank you, Shani.
super. There was another question there.
Back up.
Scroll up just a little bit. A little bit more.
Nope.
You're not in the space.
Oh.
Be right here.
Oh. All right.
She is technologically
I
incompetent.
am.
There, thrifter, picker, shipper. There is a P.O. Box link in the P.O. Box, 354 in Chuckey, Tennessee?
Chuckey, Tennessee.
It's in the video description.
Yeah.
Somewhere buried in there.
Yeah. Happy New Year, Aunt B.
How do we pay our photographer? We pay the photographer by
Per piece.
per piece. They had never done it before, and we asked around a little bit, and we got a couple. Somebody in California said they charge $3, which is going to be a significantly higher rate than what we would need to pay here, because our cost of living is much cheaper in East Tennessee than it is in California. So we offered $1 starting out, and they took the stuff home and
They
said
love
that was
it.
fine. They love it.
They don't have to do anything but take the pictures.
Take the
They're
pictures.
not, and fold it up and put it back in the bag.
Right.
And they're good with $1. If it's a 2-piece item, I'm going to pay them more. And also, if it's like a really long dress or something,
Bib
then,
overalls.
then we plan on paying more for them. I haven't been sending too much of the hard stuff right now. I'm just trying to get through the backlog, and it's a lot of shirts.
Hello,
So,
Darius.
Thanks,
Happy
Julie.
New Year to you in Russia. Glad to have you here.
Yes, we filmed at the bins this time, so we'll see. I wanted to look at the footage today to see if I've just been an utter failure again, but probably good that I hadn't. But I'm hoping, because I talked a lot trying to help, explain why I'm doing the things I'm doing, because I think that's going to be a whole lot more interesting than just, raking in stuff as fast as I can. So I'm hoping the footage was good. And those are going to be the first videos that we release in the new channel.
Did you say thank you to Julie for the super
I did.
sticker?
Thank you so much,
I was
Julie.
ignoring you like I normally do.
Uh-huh.
How did we meet?
How did we meet? Plenty of fish
Plentyoffish.com.
online.
She was desperate and found me on there. She sent me a message. We went on a date. Planned a date 2 days later. I got sick. Told her I was sick. She thought I was lying and wouldn't listen to me anymore.
Nope.
And finally, I
ignored him for about a week.
okay, probably I don't remember. It was like 2 or 3 weeks. It
Was
was
it?
quite a while, and I really liked her. So I thought I got to send her one more. I'd sent a couple messages too, and she never responded. So I finally sent one that was something like,
There's
can
a fine line.
There can be a fine line between showing interest and stalking. So I'm interested. If you're interested, let me know. If you don't, this will be the last time you ever hear from me.
Nope. And we went out right away after that. So, yeah. Yeah. But had he ever resold? No.
No, never.
Nope. He's learned everything since, for the first few years we did, I was still doing eBay when we first got married, of course, and we did Amazon for 3 or 4 years.
Five.
5 years. I hated every minute of it. But that was his primary focus until the last few years. Then he has gotten more involved in the sourcing and the pictures and the clothing. He's more of the clothing person than I am.
Let's see, what about promoting? We promote. I think
I promote.
significantly helps in the algorithm. There are things you can do in the algorithm that seem to be best practices, and running sales, promoting,
Sending offers.
Changing your listing seems to help. Delete. And
delete.
end and sell
similar.
End and sell similar.
Every single month.
Every item every month.
Every month. Once a month when it's about to end. Somebody was like, they started getting charged 35 cents. You only do it once.
Yeah, once during the month. And where do our promoted is, was it trending? Is that what they call it?
I do the trending, but +1, but I cap it at 8, and almost everything sells at 8.
Yes.
Price 70. The last time I looked, which was probably in the last month, about 70% of my listings sell through promoted listings.
Yeah, a dollar an item. It's because our cost of living is so much cheaper in East Tennessee, and all they have to do is they pull it out of a bag, throw it on their board, take the pictures, put it back in the bag, and they look and see, make sure they take pictures of anything that we've noted in the spreadsheet, and if they see anything else that on the item that we didn't notice, they take a picture of that and they put it back in, and she works near our house, so it's easy. It's an easy drop off for her. It takes just a couple minutes to get off her route to work.
We end up sitting and talking, so
yeah. But yeah, things are cheaper where we live, but we also don't have things that places that cost more have. We don't have a lot of nightlife where we live.
No.
Change our shipping in September. That is,
you go into your account settings, and I changed my shipping so that my buyer pays the discounted shipping that eBay charges us.
They had been paying the inflated, not
the
inflated,
commercial.
But they'd been paying the retail rate.
Yeah, the retail rate, and that's what a lot of people have on there.
You make a little money doing that.
You make, especially with priority, you can make $3, $4, $5 because you'll notice if you're not doing it this way, you'll see where eBay says you save 28%, 35%, 40%. Using eBay shipping labels. Well, I let my buyers have that, and y'all, it has been a game changer. I sell way more shoes and coffee mugs and stuff that I have pre-packed that have sat for a while. And the clothing that can't just be thrown into a bubble mailer. All of this stuff has been moving. Like I said in one of my recent sold videos, before we left, I had sold in the last 31 days 711 items just in December. Right now, I'm currently 5 days we've been gone. I have 90 some items to ship at this point. I'll probably be at about 150 by the time we get back Sunday. We're going to spend all day Monday getting these packages ready. So I truly, truly believe it's because of the discounted shipping.
See, Life by Melinda says she offered $1 per item and she'd get 40 done in an hour. Yes. If all they're doing is taking the picture. This lady and her husband do it. They have a boy that's in 8th grade, and she said they told him to come out and help, and they have whatever their process is. They all do it, and he said, Mom, we talk more when we do this. And
she just looked at me. She's like, yeah. Instead of being on watching TV or being on a video game, they're spending family time. And yeah, she's getting the 40 to 50 done in an evening and then bringing them right back to me. Yep. Somebody else, Life of Melinda, says she sells glass and hardware, hard goods. That's the word. And it's made a difference.
Yes. And we've sold a lot of puzzles and a lot of cups.
Yes.
Since you changed
and
that.
shoes.
And shoes.
Yep. Right here, let's see. Do you end and sell similar if it has watches? Watchers are not buyers. They're just not. They're usually other resellers looking at your stuff, watching to see. And if they really, really are interested in it, maybe they'll buy it when they find it again instead of just watching it again. So I don't even pay attention to watchers at all.
Well, Nani, tell your husband hi for us. And if he's watching, he can hear us. When were you in... Oh, scroll back up. When were you in the Navy, and where were you stationed along with rank and rate? Former Navy, along with father, brother, and my son was in the Navy.
I joined right after high school. I was 17 years old, so in 1981, I went to boot camp in Orlando, went to school to be storekeeper. I think they call them inventory managers now, which is why I think I've got a pretty good inventory system. Went to school in Mississippi. My first place that I was stationed in at was a ship, the USS Ajax in San Diego, California. I was on there for probably a year and a half and got very, very sick. And they put me on what was like a medical hold in San Diego. And then while I was there recuperating, I was married to my first husband. I ended up getting pregnant. And so at that time it was an option not to be on a ship if you were pregnant. So I was stationed in another place. I went to Hawaii, and I stayed in Hawaii for the remaining years that I was in the military. It was rough, y'all. Really, really rough. I spent 12 years in Hawaii. I made it to E7. I was a chief storekeeper, eligible to be E8, but I decided I had a failing marriage and decided that I needed to get out of the military so that I could be with my kids. And I was divorced after that. So 13 years in the military. Loved every minute of it. Loved it.
There's Avant Avenue. She came to our last meetup up in Johnson City. The extra in shipping does help with fees. It does, but I think that we're going to make less there, but I think we're going to make more sales, which is good. And I think more sales, your conversion rate, I think that actually helps in the eBay algorithm. People, I've heard other YouTubers say that, and other people talk about it, is that if, this is my brief understanding of it, if Rebel has a store and I have a store and we have the same item, and eBay knows that she converts at 1%. If somebody looks at her item, 1% of the time she makes a sale. If I convert at 5%, they look at my item, I sell at 5% of the time. My conversion rate is better. They're more likely to put my item ahead of hers if they're a similar item. So I'm more likely to get the next sale because eBay knows my stuff sells better. So I think having the lower shipping gets more sales, which drives you further up with your conversion rate in the algorithm.
And also, that is only on calculated shipping. Now, I don't do calculated shipping on my under 1 pounds. All of that is flat rate shipping. You know, I have set based on 0 to 4 ounces, 8 ounces, 12 ounces, and then the 16 ounces. I am making a little bit of money on every single one of those sales, which is helping to cover some of my fees and my shipping supplies. So it's not a total, you know, I'm making nothing off of my shipping. I sell a lot of under 1 pound stuff, so I'm still accumulating some of that to help with the cost of shipping supplies, because I buy a lot of shipping supplies.
Next question.
Thank you, guys.
Next question. Here we go. Multi-quantity listing.
Wait, let me answer TC's treasures. Now, in the past, when I have changed from when I initially went from the regular store up to the anchor store, yes, I was given the coupon when I upgraded, and then the next quarter I was given the coupon again. I'm assuming that is still going to happen. So yes, if you opened up a store this month, you should get the coupon for this month, and then you'll get the new coupon. Has anybody experienced that not happening? Because that's always how it has been. So I think so, and I really think I'm going to do it just because I have all of this help.
All right. Do the other platforms pay sales tax like eBay, or are you responsible for paying yourself? Is it a giant hassle?
No, all of the platforms have.
Yes, this changed 2018, 2019 with the Wayfair versus South Dakota Supreme Court case, where the Supreme Court decided that you could have economic nexus Because it used to be we only had to pay sales tax in Tennessee because our presence was in Tennessee.
Right.
And we had a sales tax exemption certificate. People that lived in California paid California. But then there were sketchy rules that some people didn't understand, and I certainly didn't understand them, that if you were selling on Amazon and your stuff was stored in an Amazon warehouse in California, then we had a presence in California, so we had to pay California sales tax, but that wasn't all sorted out, and I guess California was going after larger sellers for it. But they had that Supreme Court case where states could pass economic nexus laws where the marketplace facilitator, eBay, Amazon, Mercari, Poshmark, were the ones that would be responsible for collecting the sales tax. It makes it so much easier because they get it from one place that's already doing it, and all the small sellers don't have to. It's an
Worry
accounting
about it.
nightmare.
Yeah.
It would have been a nightmare for us to try to file sales tax in all the different states. Time-consuming, expensive, and I'd have probably just gone to get a regular job, probably. However, if you're using a service like Shopify,
Right.
Shopify is not a marketplace facilitator. They just host websites for you. You are the seller, and therefore you would be the one responsible for collecting sales tax in all the states that you sell in, if you're required to sell in those states. Because some of them have rules like you only are responsible for collecting and remitting sales tax in our state if you sell over $100,000 in our state during the year. You got to check with each individual state to know.
Yep.
And like I said earlier, I'm not an accountant, I'm not a lawyer, and I did not sleep at a Holiday Inn Express last
But
night.
he read up on all of this stuff.
So be careful. Go get real advice.
Yep. All right.
Scroll down. Do we have any more there?
No.
And a great YouTuber to follow is Not Your Dad's CPA. He's been releasing a lot of shorts about a difference between accrual and
Cash method.
cash method on accounting and claiming mileage and home office deduction. Go check out his stuff because it can save you lots of dollars. Where do we meet? We got that one. That was from Heather. She had that question in here. What is to date is the most high priced item you ever sold?
Robert found that visually impaired camera thingy that went on glasses. What was that, 2 years ago in December? No, last year December. Last year December, we paid $5 for it at an estate sale, and it sold last year in December for $2,000. Now, I mean, I've sold a camper, I've sold a vehicle, way in the past.
That was personal stuff, though.
Yeah, that was all personal, but the biggest was that thing, and was $2,000. And then they waited like 45 days and wanted a return, which luckily I was able to deny.
Yeah, that'd been a big return. And
Yeah.
I blame her for me finding it because she was taking too long in another room. And I went into the room with all the books and started looking at things. And it's just...
And equipment.
She goes and she knows what she looks for, and she looks at all that stuff. Toys and, this and that and something else.
But I'm tunnel vision,
And
which is a bad thing.
I go look at the things. I go hit the clothes. I look at kitchen appliances. And then I start looking at stuff that I don't know what it is. And things that look interesting. And I that's how I find some things. Because I know she's going to take the stuff that we always get. It lets me go wander around and look for things that we don't find a lot of, but might be selling
Like
for
the
a higher
bonsai.
price.
Yeah, the bonsai
books
books.
and the visually impaired thing is. And I found a cookbook at that same sale where we found the
bonsai.
no, not the bonsai, but the visually impaired thing. It was just a cookbook in the kitchen that stuck out for some reason, and it was signed by the author, and you sold it for like $70.
That's why I'm grateful that he comes out with me now, because there's so many things I just walk by because, I like finding the things that I want to look for.
Let's see.
Tax time, yes. We've got to get it. We've got to get it going.
I've got part of the year done already. We've been using my Reseller Genie. There's a link for it down in the description. It's an affiliate link. I like it so far. I don't have it all automated the way you can because I like to do things a little more methodically. And I just download a file and upload it, and then it gives us what our profit and stuff is going to be. It's done. We met the couple that own it when we were at FlipCon this year. A very nice couple, and it seems to be Spreadsheets will work, but there's not a lot of organization to it unless you really know what you're doing. QuickBooks and things like that are overkill for your typical reseller because it just has way more in there,
more.
and you get lost if you're trying to do too much. It's basic enough to do what you need without costing a lot of the big package is $20 a month.
Yeah.
And I don't think most people, unless you're going to automate everything, would even need that. I think it's like the $10 or $15 package would be plenty for most people. Let's see.
Any Fisher Price bucket list left? There's always going to be stuff. You know, this, like the other day here, like I said, I found the Slumber Baby, which I sell them a couple of times a year, but I might keep this one this time. I found one of the really old push phones that's musical. You know, I like finding that kind of stuff. So, you know, there's probably a whole lot more stuff that I'll end up finding, but just not Fisher Price because I do like Play School also.
So Deborah, we're going to bounce over here. Are you done talking?
Yes,
Are
I'm
you done?
finished. I'm finished.
She wants to see your spreadsheet. We're going to make that part of our inventory video probably because that'd be a good
Probably.
place to show that. Footage of the bins, we're working on that. Do you put everything in your cart and then go sort it, or do you grab what you want, only what you want?
Me, yes. I put everything, I make the instant decision. Well, in the video, you'll see up in the front of the basket, every once in a while, I would lay something up there, like a Build-A-Bear that was different. And y'all, I said I wasn't going to buy Build-A-Bear or a plush or something that I'm just not quite sure about, non-plush stuff. I'd set it up in the front of the cart, and I did check them, and most of them, some action figures, which ended up not being anything. So they got put back, but I go through Robert's cart and throw back most of it.
Because I don't know it well enough, and it's easier for me just to put it in the cart. Some things I know, like Greenbrier, just leave it there. But other things I'm not sure about, and it's easy for me just to put it in the cart, load up my cart, and let her make the decision later. That way I don't miss a kitty kitten because they're not in great shape usually, and I'd leave it, but I'll let her make the decision on that sort of thing.
Now you guys have heard about the kitty kittens, right? ADH Dave had all of his listings taken down because, and I didn't know this, the DSI brand, not the Tyco, the DSI brand of the kitty kittens were actually a voluntary recall almost 20 years ago, and somehow it's just now showing up on eBay, and it was because of the water bladders. Probably most of you, I have found them in the past where they actually have a water bladder inside of them that makes it really squishable, but they were voluntarily recalled because I guess the water was getting rancid or something, but it's not the Tycos. So
Thrifter Picker Shipper said they sold a 1970s Bitterman ornament they had thrown in the trash for $18.95, but they had 10 of them all to the same buyer for $18,000.
oh my goodness,
That's crazy good.
Yeah, those are the kinds of finds I'm wishing for. And you just don't know. Who would have known that an ornament?
Where do you research a plush when Google Lens and eBay don't give a hit? We got a heart there. I can't see that word there. I don't know what's up with that heart.
Don't give a, yeah. How do you research a plush? I have, I do have WorthPoint. So a lot of times, y'all, the thing with eBay, just especially when you're using keywords, the fewer the better. So if you've got an Eden bear, don't do Eden bear blue color block, yada yada, an 8-inch 19 whatever. Use as few keywords as you can, and then add keywords to limit it a little bit more.
If you get too many results, narrow it down with more keywords.
But as far as using Google Lens and eBay Lens, I don't run into that very often, but every once in a while I do, and you just kind of have to do the best. Like a lot of times if I don't have a tag and it's just a plush and there's no way for me to determine, with them, I just kind of go with the gut,
Is it unique? Is it quality?
Yeah, depending on quality, size, others that look similar. But I don't run into that very often because with Plush, a lot of times there are tags.
Holly said she found a giant-sized Fisher-Price Little People in a witch costume.
I'm wondering, is it the dolls that are like this big? I've seen them before. I've had them a couple of times. I used to buy, when my boys were little, I bought a lot of stuff off the Fisher-Price and Lego websites. So there was a point where I was actually collecting the Little People. I had hundreds of them, and I ended up selling all of them.
TC's Treasures. Do you keep track of mileage? Yes.
Yes.
We have to keep track of mileage because if I looked at my mileage for this year, I'm over 10,000 miles in sourcing and going to the post office and stuff, which this year's mileage rate, I think it's 65 cents a mile. So 10,000 miles is a $6,500 reduction in income. So that's $6,500 that I don't have to pay tax on, which comes out a lot. We used to use Everlance, and then it had issues failing to track some trips. So we tried switching to Mile IQ.
I don't like Mile IQ.
We said in a video we switched to it, but we've determined since then that we don't really care for it because it says that we went from Greenville to Greenville. And I don't want to know that I went from Greenville to Greenville. I can see that I'm in Greenville. I want to see, is that the trip that I took to the yard sale, or is that where I was dropping my son off at karate class? I want to know the address.
Yeah, it doesn't give addresses or anything. So we're back to using Everlance.
And they seem to have resolved their issues. I haven't had any issues in the last 2 months, month is when I've really gone back to it. I really like it. It shows the specific address you're going to, and I could recognize the shape because Mile IQ just shows 2 dots, whereas Everlance shows a shape. I know that's hockey look shape. That's me going to that's a trip to the post office. I know what to do with that one just by the shape of it. So it works really well for us. And it is $5 a month. Now, Mile IQ will give you address locations, but you have to pay their $10 a month service for that, and that's twice as much. And we'd be paying $20 a month instead of $10 a month in Rebels of Taiwan.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How do I quickly identify vending machine plush? Well, actually, some vending machine plush are okay, like the aliens. And a lot of the vintage stuff, I will still pick them up because I'm in several of the groups that help people locate lost loveys and stuffed animals from their past. And you wouldn't believe how many of them were Carnival plush and plush that they picked up at, a dollar store or Walmart, or they'll say it, I think I got it out of a vending machine. So, a lot of them are the quality. A lot of times I instantly know something is poor quality. I'll give it one extra look just to see if there's something unique about it. But a lot of times I do get rid of them. But there are certain vintage plush or the aliens that seem to be very popular that are vending machine plush that I pick up. Have I ever had something taken out of my cart? No, but I keep my cart with me and I cover it. And every once in a while, the other day I had 2 little girls walk by and put their hand like they were going to sort. And I just kind of gave them a look and said, that's my cart. But I ain't messing around. Nobody's going to take my stuff. I don't leave my cart unattended. It stays with me. I know a lot of people at like the Asheville bins, they cover it. You go find a sheet or whatever, but you have to be on guard because there are people who will take stuff. And if I find a treasure, it's instantly to the bottom of my cart. Instant. I will drag my hand up and under and in, like my little slumber baby the other day. It sells for about $70 to $100, so that's why I'm kind of on the fence. Do I really need to keep it?
All right, next, do we wash all of our plush? We wash the vast majority.
I wash a lot of
wash,
plush.
steam, and
but if I can't, and it's just one of those plush that I put in the listing, leaving all cleaning to buyer. But I wash a lot. They do their little 2-day spa days upstairs, on my couch, in my chair, and on yoga mats underneath the fan. Even if it's just got a tiny little smudge on it, I rather just go ahead and wash it than
Quick and
try to
easy.
spot clean it.
Quick and easy.
Much easier. And I have a newish washer now that doesn't have an agitator, and I have very few problems with it as far as my Plush.
Coupon Mama says, when it comes to profit, how much is your lowest amount that you'll accept? I like to make 10 or more on clothes, and miscellaneous I'll take 5 or more. How much on average from the bins do you pay per piece? The per piece, it depends. The bins we're shopping at now is $1.89 a pound, and you said there was no tax on there, so we pay $1.89 a pound. So quick and easy, $2 a pound. If something is 4 ounces, you're paying 50 cents for it. If it's half a pound, you're paying $1. So depending on size and density is what those things are going to cost. Smaller is cheaper, of course, and you could fit more in storage that way. As far as how much are we going to the profit, you're trying to buy fewer of the lower dollar items.
I have been.
Bread and butter, I checked back in November. We consider bread and butter $8 to $12. And that range of
I
Plush
sell a lot.
was like $14,000 for like, was it 10 and a half months or something of the year? I mean, it was enough that it paid our mortgage. It covered our mortgage every year. Just that $8 to $12. It's a lot of money in there.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm trying, I'd prefer $10 and up, but right now I'm also trying to get rid of a lot of old inventory now that I have a system in place. So am I taking $5 and $6 and $7 offers? Yes. Just make it gone. That's been my philosophy, that especially this fourth quarter. Make it gone. Make it gone.
especially
But
the old stuff.
this next year also, I am going to start doing more lots, and including in my own listings. Like if I find something, and you'll hear me in these videos this weekend, if I found something and I know, I have a memory that I know of a lot of stuff that I have listed, especially stuff that's been listed recently. I'll go, I'm going to put this with this other thing and then bump the price, But yeah, technically I'd like 10 or more, but I think, on average, I'm good with the 8 to 12 because I sell a lot of it.
So you've talked about doing more lots.
Yes.
So what do you think? You sell a lot of the Aurora Plush.
Yep.
They're what, $6 to $10, a lot of $6 to $8. They're small.
They're
what about
easy.
putting a dog and a cat or some barnyard animals or wildlife animals, putting 3 of those together and making it a $16 listing?
Well, I have picked some out. Like I did a dog and cat lot, and I did some farm animal lots, and I think I did a forest animal lot. But I ended up $15. I did like $19.95 or $24.95, and I'm gonna wait and see if those, if that's a good price point, because it's still the $8. But there's, y'all, I always price a little bit above what I want to make in this stuff. I'll even tell you guys in my videos, I hope to make $20. But if you go and look at my listing, I've listed it for $30 because I know I'm going to put it on sale. I know I've got promoted listing, and I know I'm going to take offers on it. So, I bump my prices up. So,
Speaking of Avant Avenue, when you set a sale, what's your go-to percent?
10.
10.
Almost always 10.
So if you take your $30 item and it's on a 10% sale, now you're at 27.
Yep.
And then somebody gives you a $20 offer on that, you're good.
Yeah. If it's got a really high sell-through rate, I might wait a little bit if I've just listed it this week. But a lot of times, y'all, I'm getting $20 for a plush that I probably have 50 cents in. I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
And I've told her, and we mentioned this in a video, when you list something, have a percent in mind. If I list it for $10 and somebody offers me, or whatever the value is, and somebody offers me 70% of that value, take it. Don't even think about it. Now, if you just listed it 5 minutes ago, maybe wait till tomorrow to hit the accept offer. But if it's if they offer you 70% or more, just hit the go button. Don't even think about it. I told her, put me in charge of offers and accepting offers, because we would sell a lot of stuff. I'd be like, yep. Here, have an offer at 70% off. And if it's older, if it's something we listed back in 2022 or before, I'd drop that to 50 or 60%. Make that thing gone. Get it out, clear some space, make room for the new stuff we're buying this year.
And I run 2 sales. I do Monday through Thursday, and then I do the weekend, Friday through Sunday, always. I think just having that sale ending might entice somebody who's watching stuff to go ahead and purchase it because they think the sale is about to end and it might go back up to a regular price. But I just do it right again.
See, Melinda's asking, homeschooling, considering for a 7-year-old this route. We've had a lot of fun with it. It's not for every family or every kid or every parent. You got to have a good mentality about it. I struggled more with some of the boys than I did with others, and which means they probably struggled more with me than they might have with a public school teacher or less. But every state is different. Some states are much more strict and others are more lenient. There's a group called, I want to say it's the Homeschool Legal Defense Foundation or something like that. That's probably a good place to start with just getting some general ideas about it. And wherever you're at, I assume, because we live in a town of 15,000 people. There's about 60,000 people in our county. I know of 3 different homeschool groups in our county.
It's very, very popular in our area.
Yes, and look on Facebook. Go on Facebook, search, Greenville Homeschool or Greene County Homeschool, wherever your place is. Search that. Greenville's ours. Search that on Facebook, and you will probably find a group there, or maybe East Tennessee or whatever it is, or just make a post. One of your friends on Facebook probably knows of a homeschool group, and once you get in there, they would love answering your questions and helping you get started if that's what you want.
Yeah, and we use an umbrella school, so we're actually considered private,
school.
A private school. They do our grades for us. They do our diplomas at the end for us. And I think it just helps keep the school system out of everything for us because we follow the state requirements, but we give all our information to this umbrella school.
And the umbrella school has their own requirements for testing. RJ has to take in 4th grade and 8th grade. You have to take I think it's a standardized a Stanford test.
Yeah, Stanford
And
achievement.
then every year in high school you have to take it to make sure that your kids are where they need to be. And then Russell pulling a me pushing somebody else's cart. So that would be something I would do. Grab the wrong cart. Let's see. A lot of homeschool groups in rural areas.
Yes.
TN Pickers.
Hello, Tim and Jerry.
Yay!
Our besties. Yeah, get to work. No, next week.
Yes, next week we're going to be back to work.
After we have lunch with you guys.
Monday, yes, lunch Monday or supper, whichever. Let's see. Listing. Deborah said she'd like to see a listing process thing. We did that once before where I had 2 different cameras set up and she was doing a screen share and we were. Was it live? I think it might have been alive. Where you were just bouncing back and forth. That was kind of interesting.
How do you decide what is going on sale? I do it store-wide. Everything goes on sale. Well, no, I take that back. Take it back. And Robert disagrees with this, but I do $0 to $59, and then I don't do my higher dollar stuff. I send out nice offers on them, but I don't want to put them on sale and send offers. So I don't. Every once in a while, I'll include everything in the store, but for the most part, don't ask me why I picked $60, but anything that's $60 and up, I prefer just to send offers on. And y'all, sending offers has been a deal changer too. It gets me so many sales.
Let's see. Tracy, no, you didn't miss anything. We have been sitting here patiently waiting for you to get back so that you didn't miss anything. Okay, this is my take on Rebels not sending offers on the high dollar stuff. She will send an offer, a 10% off offer on 10 $10 items, which would get her a $90 sale, $90 worth of sales, but she won't send a 10% off offer on a $100 item and take the same $90 in one item. She just wants me to work more, I think. She wants me to make the $90 10 times, in 10 different units instead of one easy $100 thing.
I don't know. It just, this bigger dollar stuff. How many listings do I post a day? There was a time before YouTube.
I hear Travis Tritt. Come on, Tim. Let's hear it. Tim can sing that. He's got the voice.
Before YouTube and all the cross listing and stuff, I used to list probably 40 to 70 a day That's when I was really, really growing after we both quit our day jobs and started doing this full time. Now I try to do probably 20 to 25 a day, but this next year that's going to change because I'm going to have more help and I'm going to try to get a whole lot more listings done.
Hello, Beth and Courtney,
Hello, Beth.
our Yankee friends from up in the Northeast.
Yes.
There comes a time.
They're coming. Yeah.
All right, so where are we at next?
Yeah. Grams and Pops. I got a new hat, gained a few pounds, and nobody died. I call that a good Christmas. Yep.
Yes.
Yep, gaining the few pounds. We're starting New Year's resolutions.
No, it is not a New Year's. It was an after I get back from vacation resolution,
Yes.
which just happens to be the first of the year.
10,000 steps a day. 10,000. That's our
10,000,
goal.
30 minutes of exercise,
30
10,000
minutes.
steps, eat real food, and drink 3/4 gallon of water.
Every day. That's our thing starting when we get back. Jacksonville.
We went there.
Did we?
Yes, last year. Mom went over with us.
Oh, yes. That's the one where there's no kids allowed, right? Yeah. The day we were there were no Plush. Let me tell you, I was very disappointed because somebody else had told me there was tons of Plush there.
Beth's making fun of me again.
More
I'm gonna cry.
Hello, Miss Courtney.
Yes, real food. So ingredients.
Yes.
No hamburger helper. Cut out. When we go out sourcing, we'll probably
We eat
I'll
out a
I'll
lot.
probably eat a fast food, but it's going to be a chicken sandwich or something, a hamburger. Nothing that comes in a box essentially at home. And if I want bread, I'm going to make homemade bread because it tastes better and it molds in like 4 days instead of lasting for 2 weeks, and there's not a speck of mold on it. And it's made from we have a wheat grinder, so we grind the wheat fresh, use honey and applesauce and
Yep, no
yeast.
oils.
no oils or anything, and it's really good that way.
Yes, Beth and her family got COVID for Christmas. That was me last year, remember? Wait, somebody asked a question up here.
Auction.
Oh, you know what, Russell? If you're not in my Facebook group, post a picture. Join my Facebook group, Rebel Reseller Hangout. Post a picture. Just even state in there that so I can see it. But yeah, if it's very rare, then yeah, sometimes you do auctions. Like I did an auction on a Build-A-Bear lot, 2 years ago? Never would have imagined that it sold for over $500 because I couldn't find anything like it. So sometimes the auctions are the way to go.
Just when you post a question in the group or any group, you're asking a question, tell people what you've done already. I've tried A, B, and C, because in groups, people like to just drop something in and not have done
Let everybody do their
not
work.
have done any work themselves. But yeah, let people know what you did. COVID for Christmas.
Yeah, Beth. Poor thing.
That'd be exciting. It beats coal, right? It beats a lump of coal. Plus, let's see.
While you're eating a bacon cheeseburger, yeah. Okay, but we said not till January. So you're okay.
January, yes.
January.
Because we're driving back to Tennessee on New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
so I'll still be eating bad, and I'm definitely going to slug down some Sun-Drop and sweet tea on the way and
Yep,
eat
we'll
some
probably
bad
stop
food.
at Buc-ee's.
That way it'd be quick. It'd be quick pounds on those first few pounds that come off real fast.
Our Goodwill, somebody's saying, does your Goodwill sell Plush $5 a big bag?
It sells-
Absolutely not.
It sells Plush for $5.
Yeah, $5. We
$3.
don't even go to our Goodwill anymore, and I don't
$3
go
and-
to any of the Goodwills. And I don't actually go to very many thrift stores anymore because they've all just got ridiculous. That's why we do these bins trips, and I go to estate sales, and then I'm just waiting on yard sales because our thrift stores are awful. And that's fine, it's fine. I just won't be shopping there.
What is the strangest, ugliest, or weirdest item you've ever sold for good money?
Ooh.
If we ever get that stuffed raccoon, that could be one.
Yes, Robert's taxidermy raccoon. It's still sitting on my freezer, scaring me every once in a while. Ugliest or weirdest? I can't think of anything.
I can't think of anything that stands out off the top of my head. I'm sure there's been some weird stuff,
Yep.
but nothing that screams off the top of my head. All right. How do you figure out the balance between listing too much and staying profitable but making sure you have a steady sales? Because, this is from Pibbizer. Let's say I sell through 50% of my items with high margins, but the other sits and my cost is low. How do you figure out the balance between that? If you're selling part-time, you can be more picky. It's extra income unless you have specific goals you're trying to meet. But when this is your bread and butter, and I don't mean like bread and butter sale,
This
mean
is
this buys the
literally-
bread and butter that you eat. You got to sell what you got to sell. And if that means selling $4 items, then that's what you sell. And there's really, Rebel hates this, but there's nothing wrong with selling low dollar items if you can sell them quickly. We used to sell toothbrushes on Amazon. She hated every minute of it, but I paid $1 for them. We sold them for $4?
Yeah,
$4
we
or $5
made-
on eBay, and we made $1 profit. And I could pack, and I would order them from the manager at Walmart, the health and beauty manager. I'd say, hey, can you get me 300 of those? And she would order 300 of them in cases, and then I would take them home, and I could prep about $150 an hour. So I was doing $150 worth of work every hour
But
at $1 an item. But eventually, somebody decided they wanted to make 75 cents and cut people off, and then it was 50.
the race to the bottom.
The race to the bottom, and eventually it was less than 50 cents, and we decided we're out of that race.
Yeah. So, yeah. But sometimes I make bad buys. I do. But if I've got it, I know some people will disagree with this. And a lot of things I don't list because there's something wrong with it or whatever. But if it's can be listed, I'm gonna list it. I might put a $6.95 price on it and take the best offer that I get just to make it gone, because why not? And a lot of times for me, I process everything and I do my research after I've already put it away. So sometimes I'm like, this is only worth $8, and I'm just gonna list it for that because I've already done all of the work.
Hang on, dear. One of the things that you'll be able to see this when we do our video about our inventory and spreadsheet, is we have a date code at the very beginning of all of our listings now. And anything she's listing this month will say 2312. And then next month it's going to say 2401. And it's important to have the 0 there for the ordering, for the sorting process. So 2401 and then 2402. So we can tell when an item was listed, what month it was, and anything. And we started this early in the year. So anything listed before January of 2023 has 2212 in it, because we didn't know, because we've been doing the delete and sell similar. But have you done it once or twice this year?
I've done a couple of markdowns.
So she goes into all those things listed before this year and just drops the price by 10%. You can decide whatever you want. Permanently, not like a sale. She cut the price by 10%, cut it by 10%, and that's going to just keep lowering that price until it eventually sells or gets so cheap that we're like, just chuck it out of here.
And while I'm doing my inventory, there are some that I'm coming across that I know have been listed forever, and they've gotten to a point where they're just ridiculously priced, and I am pulling them because there was a point, you guys have heard listed and forget it. That's how I was, but you can't be that way when you have over 10,000 listings. I can't just let stuff keep sitting, so I'm just going to keep lowering the price, hopefully move a lot of that stuff, and then just make better choices like hopefully I've done on this trip.
And well, before I say that, Grams and Pops Vintage said, sometimes I make bad buys should be a t-shirt. And it should be.
Even those of us that have been doing this for almost 25 years, we make bad buys.
But selling something for $5 means something entirely different in 2023 than it did in 2010, when you might have listed some of this stuff that you thought, hey, this is a great buy, and it listed it for $5, and it's just been sitting there, because you sell something every now and then. You say, this has been here since I moved to Greenville in 2012.
Yep.
And
11
that
years.
happens. Things just sit there and it's just in there, so you leave it alone. But selling something for $5 back then, it was a considerably larger sale back then than it would be today with the way
With all
inflation has
the,
gone
and the
up.
promoted fees and
The
everything
fees have
else.
gone up and inflation's gone up. So it means something different on one of those old items.
How many items? Right now I'm doing 20 to 25 items a day. It's going to dramatically change in next year. But, you know, I say this, y'all, don't compare your stores to me. I'm a volume seller. Not everybody has a 30 by 50 building to store their stuff in. You have to do what's best for you. You need to choose what your profit margins need to be. You need to pay more attention to sell-through rate. I buy vintage plush because I want to save it. I want to have it for that person who wants to buy nostalgia. So I'm willing to hold on to stuff for longer. But yeah, don't compare yourself to me. You know, I have a system down. I've been doing this for so long that, you know, but I do think listing daily is important. Pick a number, you know, whether it's 1 or 2 or 5, pick a number and try to do it every day. Try to.
She likes to save the plush. I like to buy the vintage plush because it buys baloney when it sells.
Yeah, a lot of them sell for a whole lot more than your regular bread and butter stuff.
All right, what do we got next here?
Wait, how do I choose my price? Middle of comps or higher, knowing you'll rent a sale? I go a little bit higher usually, but I also, if I think the price has gone too low, because I have the access to WorthPoint, if the price has gone dramatically down, it doesn't bother me to try to go ahead and bump that price up and wait, you know, and then hopefully somebody else is going to come up with me, or somebody else is going to notice and bring that price back up, because I see it so many times where something has sold for $150, you know, 5 years ago on WorthPoint, and the price is down to $50, and it's a really nice item, and it's really hard to come by. So I may take my price back up to $100 or $125 and see what happens.
Do you remember the first thing you ever sold on eBay?
Like a lot of people, I picked a few things from my house. I had just moved to Tennessee after my first divorce, and I was watching Rosie O'Donnell, and she talked about eBay, and I picked like 5 things that I had brought with me, and I think some of them was like going away presents. I was a teacher in Hawaii, so I think somebody had given me a going away present or something, and so it was probably one of those things. I did not get into toys immediately. I only started doing toys when my younger boys, so early 2000s is when they were starting to be born, and I started understanding that I could really make a living selling stuff that I picked up at yard sales.
See, what advice do you have for people who are wanting to go full time? There's a lot there.
Yes.
First, learn to live cheap.
Learn to live very cheap, and pick a number, but I say at least what your expenses are for 6 months, have that amount saved, so that you don't have to stress immediately with paying your bills. You know, I'm a big Dave Ramsey proponent. Is that the right word? I'm a Dave Ramsey follower, not specifically because we were using credit cards to, you know, pay for everything, but I never let it go over a month. I paid my balances every month, but luckily we're at a point now where we pay cash for everything as far as for the business. I may order still something like GoPros, or like we just ordered a new GoPro. We put that on the credit card, or did we? No, we paid cash for it.
Pay another debit card.
So, you know, we're at a different level now, but make sure you save up enough money to cover your expenses for at least 6 months. Have an emergency backup cash, and then go for it. And you're going to have to figure out health insurance, because I'm a veteran. I have the VA, and then we pay for Robert to have insurance, and it's not cheap. It's not cheap.
Health insurance is not cheap. But Rebel said, 6 months. You got to pick what you're comfortable with. Some people might say, I'm good with 3.
Some people might say a year.
And what else matters is, what is your fallback plan if it fails, right?
Yeah.
So your fallback plan, you're a single person, you live in a house, you rent a house, 5 miles from your parents, and you're young, and your fallback plan might be, if this fails, I'll just go live with mom and dad for a while, or my cousin, or I have someone that I could share my house with. Then you probably don't need to save up as much, to get ready to go full time. If you have a spouse or a partner that works full time and brings in a good income, then you don't have to save up as much. But if it's you've got your single parent, you've got 2 kids, and this is what you're relying on, you might want to save up a year just to make sure you've got a good buffer in there.
Yep.
And try not, Dave Ramsey, try not to have any car payments, try not to have credit card payments, get your utilities down, cut out all the, only keep Netflix or only keep Amazon Prime, get rid of all those extra expenses that you can. And until you see that, hey, this is working well, I'm making the money that I need, and then go forward. And don't be afraid to have a side gig. Go work at Walmart for 10 hours a week to keep a little steady cash flow coming in while you try to build this up.
Or Uber or...
Yeah, whatever it is you need. Next question was related to that. Do you set weekly or monthly, yearly goals? One of the things with, I guess in anywhere, but especially in reselling, is we don't have a lot of control. We can control what we buy and what we list. That's 2 of the main things we can control. We can't control what we sell to a full extent. We can control it by buying good stuff, listing good stuff at a good price, having good pictures, having good keywords. But if the buyers aren't there buying the things because the economy goes bad or styles change or whatever, we have no control over that. So we just have to do what we can.
Yep. And that's don't niche. I know there's others that say niche, don't niche. We added clothing 2 years ago, and some months the clothing is what was keeping us afloat as far as being able to cover our mortgage at the time, or you've got to just keep listing stuff, keep growing your store, keep picking good items.
I realize
Night, Beth.
we've done a really bad job because we've been looking at this so we could read the comments, but the camera's over here.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to be looking at this view of us because there was supposed to be a...
The chat's not working on this monitor, so
Yeah.
we're using the laptop, y'all.
We're streaming through OBS, so the chat's not working there. It says it's unable to connect for some reason. So we were supposed to be looking here, and I didn't bring the cable for the good camera, so we have the camera that makes us look sort of
Fuzzy
because we don't have the good Sony camera. The difference between a $60 webcam and a $700 Sony makes a big difference.
Yeah. Well, and somebody said make sure you do the thumbs up, y'all. But also, I saw a post recently that somebody said lots of people are getting unsubscribed. So if you have subscribed, double check to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate it.
And if you don't want to watch, unsubscribe. That way, by you not hitting the watch that video button when it shows up in the feed, doesn't hurt your YouTube people in the algorithm. So I try to click on the things of the people that I really enjoy watching. I try to make sure I click on their videos every time I see it in the feed.
Glitter Witch, you're not late. We're still here.
But there'll be a replay. I don't know how long it takes. I don't think it goes up right away because I think YouTube has to do some processing. So it takes a little bit for that to show up on the channel.
Yep. All right. Any more questions?
I ran out of questions over there.
All right. We ran out of questions, y'all.
Y'all got any more in the chat room? Y'all got any more there? And I will get that link for Discord fixed at some point. I got to figure it out. I thought it was a permanent one, but apparently not.
So we'll figure that out. So, if you're interested in joining the Discord, we are constantly in there chatting with everybody, and we'll be doing maybe a couple times a month Zoom calls.
One or two a month.
One or two.
And find other resellers in your area, have a meetup,
Do a meetup.
hang out with them. And if you're talking work and you're not just doing it to scam the government, you can actually claim that as a tax exempt because it's a work meeting.
Yes.
You can claim that meal as a deduction and get half of that meal as a business expense. And the mileage too.
Yeah. And somebody asked about my wrist. Y'all, I fell this summer, and the urgent care said it was fractured. But when I had follow-up VA x-rays, they said it wasn't, but it continues to hurt. So now they're just putting me back in a brace to see if just not using it for a while will help. So I don't know how long I'm going to be in this, but yeah, it's very cumbersome and annoying, but you know, I got to do something. I ain't young anymore.
Do you ever find Pink Panther? We don't find a lot of Pink Panther.
Very little.
I like
And
Pink
usually
Panther.
it's like Nanco, and it sells, but it doesn't sell for a lot.
Aunt B, you can only come to the meetup if you bring a pie, as long as you cook like Andy Griffith's Aunt B. Look up our Facebook group, East Tennessee Resellers. There aren't many of us in the group, but ask to join that. We'll get you in there, and we're rotating from Bristol to
Johnson
City, Greenville, and now Morristown because we have a couple
Morristown.
ladies that come in from there. And if we get more interest from the Knoxville area, we'll have them in Knoxville too.
Well, and we've gone to Knoxville once.
Yeah, we've gone to Knoxville once to meet somebody. So, East Tennessee Resellers, meet people in your area. It's a lot of fun just to hang out and chat and talk work and talk life.
Yep. You've never found a Jellycat plush? Yeah, I found quite a bit. Now, like, most of it's bread and butter, y'all, but I found quite a few this time. Some I've never seen before. So it'll be interesting to go through the bags.
Are you okay, Robert?
Robert's Robert. He's always okay.
But not always okay. Always, but not always. Let's see. Nah, probably not so much. What we mentioned that earlier. Probably not so many whatnot sales anymore. It's a lot of work, and we would rather just, if we're going to go to that much work, just list it on eBay and get on with something else for the most part.
Yeah, I may make exceptions.
Tina has never found the Jellycat plush. I found like 5 of them this week so far in 2 days.
I'm probably about maybe 8 to 10 myself. So
Tracy Godman. Don't worry about spelling. Rebel
Yeah.
never spells anything right, hardly.
y'all, armadillo. Remember
Armadillo.
armadillo.
And I picked one up this week. It
did.
was a Texas red, white, and blue one.
I found a lot of Mary Myers. I like that brand, and there's just certain brands I'm gonna always pick them up, whether I think they're gonna be high dollar or not. I like Aurora. I pick up a lot of Aurora.
Let's see. Rheumatoid. Yeah, rheumatoid arthritis can be rough on you.
Yep.
She said those braces help her.
Yep. Oh, thanks, Tracy. Thank you. All right, are we calling it?
Folk Manus Puppet. Yes, because I need to go eat my supper.
Yep, we've got supper waiting on for us. It's late. It's
And-
an hour behind here, but I'm still trying to stick to my normal schedule. So
Storage locker auctions. Yes, Tunes, we're going to be doing that.
no, I don't want to go down that one, y'all.
We're going to.
Yes. He'll probably get at least to try it one time this year.
I just want to go dig through it and see what's in there and see what the process is like.
Okay, the bins. This is a very unpopular thing for me, for a lot of people. I do not wear gloves, y'all. Everybody will tell you wear gloves. But, Robert, what did we find this week?
2 plush that were wet.
They were very wet. You're not going to feel them if you're wearing gloves. I still got them, but I knew not to pack them in the bags with the other plush because they would have molded or mildewed by the time I get to them in the next couple of months. But anything else, watch your cart. You know, cover it if it's the type of bins where they don't let you just drag it around with you. Take a snack with you if you can, because I always plan on staying at least 3 or 4 hours, and I'm a snacky kind of person.
Wash your hands before you snack. Rebel gets on to me because
Yes.
sometimes I forget and
Yes.
I just eat the snack without washing my hands. But I tell her that's why I'm more healthy than she is because I'm
Probably.
constantly infecting myself from the bin stuff.
And don't be afraid, y'all. I'm little. I get right in there. I'm not afraid to get in there. In fact, I tell Robert all the time, because Robert's not a very tall person. Usually when they're bringing out the new bins, when you're in that type of one, I go stand by the tallest guy I can find, because when there's something I can't reach, I'm like, can you get that for me? Can you get that for me?
My heart is broken. Yeah, if you're buying the glass, you got to be able to touch it just
Yep.
to know, because with the glove, you're not going to be able to feel it the way you need to feel it. And you're going to buy stuff
And
that you
even
wouldn't have bought.
clothes, yeah, you need to feel the quality of clothes. You know, at least keep one of your hands. Do your pick in hand with a glove, but the other hand needs to still be able to touch to make sure.
Or just get in there barehanded and do it.
Yeah, I go barehanded. I don't ever get cut. So,
Poor raccoon. And yes, Shani, I'm going to do it. They actually had one of the local places had 4 units up for auction this Saturday. We were driving here, so we didn't get to go to that. I keep looking online, and I'll find one, even if it's not the greatest deal. I want to get one and just get in there and see what it's like.
exactly. You can't feel quality. I'm glad there's more of you in here that agree with me, because I hear it all the time. Wear gloves, wear gloves. No. Yep. I keep hand sanitizer. I have a spray that I use if I'm going to go ahead and eat a snack. Yep. All right. It's dinner time, y'all. This has been fun.
New channel.
New channel.
Somebody asked how to join. If that was the Discord, I got to fix the link.
Yep.
If it's the Facebook group, the Rebel Reseller Hangout, or if you're near us, East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia area, the East Tennessee Resellers Group.
Yeah, and we'll get you in the group, and then you can, at least keep up with when we're going to be doing the meetups. Yep.
All right,
All right, y'all.
Have a
Good
good one.
night.